Oh, let's get that. There we go. There we go. Okay, we are live. I think I am live on YouTube and Facebook. Still no LinkedIn yet. No LinkedIn Live, but I am working around that for people who want to join and basically be able to at least see the links. So we have that up there on Facebook, and I see a couple people out there. So I'm hoping that means it's working. And I can see it. If you post a comment in there, I can know where you're coming in from, and then I know for sure it's working, but we're going to go with it anyways because it's recording. So worst case scenario, I upload it afterwards. Hi, I'm Trisha Broderick, and I'm with Ignite Insight and Innovation, and it is the first Friday of the month already. If I can get all of this working, I may actually start doing this a couple times a month and not just the first Friday, but we'll see. No guarantees. I'm playing with it. But each first Friday of the month, I'm going to try and bring just a little bit of a snippet of information or content out there for people because honestly, we just need more good in the world and ways to pay it forward. So I'm putting that out there for everybody. And today we're going to talk about something, and I've talked about this a lot in various classes that I do, different conference sessions that I do, but I can't not talk enough about this because if I hear one more person say, how do I help my team become high performing, and they're not even a team, I might lose my mind. So we're going to go through a little bit of like team evolution and overlaying a couple of other models that are out there, but I'm really going to use the words that I've kind of found most effective and helpful for me as a leader and helping my team progress and evolve. So I'm going to share my screen here. Hopefully that works. Share screen. Application window. Chrome tab. This one. Okay, I think that's sharing. It'd be great if somebody could put in a comment for me, confirmation that you can see that sharing up there. And I actually want to blow that up a little bit bigger. There we go. Make me smaller. No one wants to see me. They want to see this stuff. So let's talk through this a little bit in terms of where we start. Oh, hey, James. Thank you. Thank you. Perfect. So when you first form people together, so Tuckman's model of forming, storming, norming, performing, when you first form people together, they're still individuals. They have their own strengths, their own weaknesses. They're worried about kind of, am I going to do a good job before I can even worry about anybody else? Now, most places, especially most agile places, are hiring with this expectation that you're going to work in a team. And so in that teamwork, there's kind of this expectation that you're going to work with other people. But if you were strictly in an individual, task-based world, this is sufficient. Like just focus on your individual task, get it done and be done. But most people need to work with others in some capacity. And so in that capacity, we want to help as leaders get them to what we call a group. Now, a group is individuals that are now willing to cooperate together. And I use the cooperate word very intentionally. It often sounds like this. I will get my part done, you get your part done. But if you need help, I'm willing to help you with your part as long as my part gets done. Now, technically, we could all win or lose together. Like think relay race. You all win or lose as one. But the reality is if the second person falls down, no one's blaming the other people that you can clearly see they hit their split times. And so in a group, there's a lot of cooperation and dependencies to actually succeeding in the end. But everybody's kind of measured on their own parts. And everybody's kind of worried about their own parts first. Now, again, if you have task-based work, this is something that a leader can just command and control. Like you do this part, help each other if something comes up. But for the most part, we know what those parts are and we know what needs to get done. And so a group can be highly effective and get results in task-based work. Most organizations function as a group. Most organization teams function as groups. My part, all those handoffs. But the minute you have knowledge work, the minute you have to discover value, groups start to fail because although cooperation is lovely, it does not get you the wisdom of the crowd effectively. What is drawn from that is what's known as collaboration. And so if cooperation was my part, your part, collaboration sounds like our part. How do we build this together? What do we need to do to engage with this? How are we going to leverage your experience, your knowledge, my knowledge, and come up with something amazing, discover value? In a team, they move from cooperation to collaboration towards that shared value, shared purpose or goal. Super, super powerful. And that's where you get a lot of the benefits of some of that innovation and quality is from the collaboration, not just cooperation. But in a team, the leader is often the hub. The leader is saying things like, okay, make sure this gets done, this gets done. They want people collaborating together, but they're still front and center. They're locked and loaded. They make sure no balls drop. But that holds you back because you can only scale as far as that leader can scale. They're a bottleneck in a lot of ways. And although you're getting glimpses of the benefits from collaboration, there is actually a whole nother level of high performing teams, or what in the Agile space often we call self-organizing teams. And this is where you get the benefit of shared ownership. So no longer is it the leader just in the team going, oh, I've got to make sure no balls drop. I've got to make sure this is happening. I'm going to double check on this. I can't, like that pressure that we put on ourselves as leaders to feel responsible. In a high performing team, we share that ownership, share that responsibility, share that accountability for producing that. And that's where the high performance results start to come in. So not only are you getting the glimpses of innovation and quality from just the collaboration in a team, you're getting now scaled results because multiple people are way better than any one individual. And hey, as a leader, you may even be able to take a vacation day every so often. But in order to do that, that leader has to stop being the hub. They have to stop kind of engaging in that way that is really holding the team back. But this is really hard because a lot of people will come at me and they're like, how do I get a high performing team? And they're still over here, and I'm going to do this over here. They're like over in this area, right? They're over here. And I'm like, you haven't even hit team yet. And you're worrying about high performing team. A high-performing team doesn't mean the leader goes away. It just means the leader's engagement changes along the ways. But how that leader engages makes a difference on whether or not they'll move from individuals to group to team to high-performing team. You want this evolution to be happening. And if you only have task-based work, maybe you stop at group. But the minute you have knowledge work, you really want to get up into this high performance, but you don't get to just skip there. Like you can't call a team and it's so. Like I'm from Michigan, Detroit Lions, enough said, people, right? Like calling something a team doesn't make it a team. They have to build. And it means the leader has to create the spaces to allow for first cooperation to even happen, for them to learn even how to help each other, to engage with each other, to communicate with each other. And then once you get past that, there's a lot of facilitation skills that are required to really help people collaborate effectively together, to engage effectively together, to really leverage that wisdom of the crowd to get those results even at that team level. And then there's a whole level of the leader learning how to play a different role and stop being the hub to get up into high performing teams. Now, I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. Now, when you're going into this, there's a dynamic of looking at this and going, okay, well, where am I at today? What do I need today? Where is my team today? And the interesting part is I ask this often and people don't talk about it. They act like, well, we have to just pretend we're a team. Even though they know about Tuckman, storming, forming, forming, storming, norming, performing, they know about all these other things. They still act like they just magically jump up into those later stages. No, it takes effort. It takes time. It takes learning new skills like training and mentoring and facilitating. Facilitating probably for me is the biggest one to go from, well, not just the biggest one. All of them are, honestly, but one of the ones that I think gets not as much recognition for moving from group to team is facilitation skills for leaders. But it takes concerted effort. You can't just hope that they'll become a high-performing team. What are you doing as a leader that's creating the right space that's evolving them up into that stage where they learn cooperation skills, collaboration skills, and eventually really feel that sense of shared ownership? So when people say, well, if we have a self-organizing team, what's the leader do? And I'm like, first of all, the leader did significant job because you're a self-organizing team. That does not just magically happen. And I even questioned that myself for a little while. I'm like, well, if they're really, really experienced individuals and they all come together, will they just magically form into a self-organizing team? And my experience has not proven that to be true. There still needs to be someone that's kind of setting the direction overall or setting some boundaries and constraints that really help enable that collaboration. Otherwise, we have a tendency to go back to some individual needs and goals and desires that we want to honor as a team or a self-organizing team, but don't want it to drive above the shared purpose or goal that we have. So that's kind of my way that I articulate, and I use even an exercise like that, and I'll pull up that image and I'll just even say, where on this do you think we are? Where do I think we are? Do we want to be a high-performing team? It's a fascinating question to ask people because there's so many times that we kind of make the assumption, but do they even want to be? Are they willing to put in the work to truly collaborate together, to learn? And does the leader want to not be the hub and learn some facilitation skills and other areas of skills that's going to help them move up into that area? But that's definitely the goal. That's where we're going to get amazing results when it comes to knowledge work. But we got to start. And I should mention, because it would be a disservice, just because you get there doesn't mean you stay there. It's a constant journey that we have to always be working on. But using this kind of language, having this kind of visual for me has always helped assess a little bit of where we're at and what the team might need most, or hopefully the team someday is going to need most, as well as what I need to be contributing as a leader or if I need to be pulling back. So hopefully that was valuable. Really quick, just a little bit of information. I'll be putting in comments some of the upcoming classes and things that I have. I do have a facilitation class coming up too, really close, like April 15th, 16th, but I'll put that in the comments below with it. But thank you for joining. I hope it worked. I see that a few people were on. So I also want to hear the feedback. Did it work well did you join on Facebook? Did you do on YouTube? Were you one of the LinkedIn members that were trying to watch it live? Did it work? Did it not? Let me know, because I'm trying to figure this stuff out so I can give you these little quick 15-minute snippets at least once a month, if not maybe more. So have a good day. And it's April already. Wow, crazy. And thanks, James. I just saw your message as I'm coming in. I will definitely do that as well. So thank you and have a good day. Now, how to end.